Hi guys, so today we're going to look at chapter 4. We're looking at the Knowledge Challenge B 4-1, and we're also going to do 4-4. So we're going to start with 4-1, and 4-1 says to prepare the unadjusted trial balance. Use the following account balance to prepare the unadjusted trial balance for Willow Branch Inc. as of April 30th. Your Excel template is in your Canvas classroom. So they've given us the account names and the account balances. So on the left-hand side of my screen here, I have my Excel spreadsheet open. And I can just go ahead and type right on that. So the first thing we're going to do is our 3-line heading that we put at the top of every report. And the first line is for our company name, which is Willow Branch Inc. And then the name of our the name of our report is already there. And the date for our trial balance is the actual date. It's a snapshot in time. So in this case, it's April 30th, 2015. And all I'm going to do is list my accounts and their balances. However, we're going to ignore this account number column for right now because we don't have account numbers listed on this one. It doesn't tell us in our directions whether it has a debit balance or a credit balance. Now, we've learned, or at least I hope we've learned from chapter 1, assets have debit balances. And I'm going to type this over here so that you have it. Assets have debit balances. Oops, not exactly what I wanted. Try that again. Liabilities have credit balances. Owner's equity is a little different. Okay, so capital are credit balances, drawing are debit balances, income are credit balances, and expenses are debit balances. And again, these are all concepts that are from chapter 1 and chapter 2. Okay. So cash is an asset. It has a balance of $51,000. So I'm going to put it over here because I know cash is an asset because it's something we own. Okay, own, not owe. Accounts receivable is also an asset, so it has a debit balance, $64.50. Supplies is an asset, so a debit balance, $18.95. Furniture, $16,700. Accounts payable is a liability. It's something we owe, so that's a credit balance. Wages payable, another liability. Anytime you see that word anytime you see that word payable, it's a liability. Service revenue is our revenue account, our income account, and that has a credit balance of $11,200. And then we're going to list our expenses. Don't forget the word expense. Those have debit balances. Oops, 360 up, and then they stuck capital in there later on. Okay. Okay, and then they've given us our capital. Now, our capital should be listed before our revenue and our expenses. I'm not sure why they put them in that order in this list, but we're going to go with it. So your capital has a credit balance. Okay, so I've listed all of my accounts here, and now I'm just going to total the columns. Now you can grab a calculator and add them up. I'm going to use the Excel function of a sum, so equals sum opening parenthesis, and then I'm just going to click and drag over that whole column and press enter. I'm going to click on this box and put my mouse in the bottom right hand corner. It's going to turn into a black plus sign. I'm going to click and drag to the right, and it's going to add up the column next to it, and hopefully they equal. Okay, and they do, which is exactly what we wanted. I need to put a single line above that total and a double line underneath it. So I'm going to use, in Excel, I'm going to use my borders button up here, and I need a thick, actually, let's do a double bottom double border, and then I'm going to highlight the cells above it and do a thick bottom border there. And then I have my single underline and my double underline to show that those two numbers are equal, okay? And that is how you create an unadjusted trial balance. Oh, they wanted unadjusted. I have this labeled as adjusted. There Okay? So that's problem 4-1. Let's look at problem 4-4. Switch both my tabs here. In problem 4-4, I am recording adjusting entries. Record the necessary adjusting entries for each of the following 4 circumstances on June 30th. Now they've given us lines. We're going to do ours in our journal because that is where you would record entries. I'm not sure that I understand the line part of that one. So what we're going to do, whoops, sorry, wrong screen. What we're going to do is read these transactions and put them in our journal. So number 1, prior to the recording of the adjusting entries, the supplies account had $900 balance. A physical count of supplies on June 30th indicates that there's $625 of supplies remained at the end of the month. So what this means is we bought supplies, we bought $900 worth of supplies, and we put them in a closet. At the end of the month, we went to that closet and there's $625 worth of supplies left. Okay? So the first thing we have to do is a little bit of math. Okay, so I'm going to take that $900 in supplies and I'm going to subtract the $625. And I'm going to find out that, let me make that a little bit bigger so you can see what I'm talking about here. I'm going to find out that I have $275 worth of supplies that have been used. Okay, I need to account for that $275. So I know that my date is June 30th. I need to take that $275 and move it out of supplies and into my expense account. Okay. We know that our expenses increase on the debit side. So I'm going to debit supplies expense for $275. And I need to remove it from my supplies account. So I'm going to credit supplies for $275. So if my balance of supplies was $900 to start with, and it had a debit balance, I just credited it for $275, and now it has a balance of $625. Okay. The second one, on June 9th, a customer pays $7,000 in advance of services being provided. As of June 30th, 4,500 of those services have been earned. Okay. So we had some unearned revenue there, and we now need to move that out of unearned revenue and into our earned revenue or our service revenue. So we're going to debit unearned revenue. And we're going to use the $4,500 that has been earned now, and we're going to move it into service revenue to show that we've earned it. Okay, to show that we've done the work that we needed to do. The next one, employees work a 7-day work week. They earn a total of $4,200 each week and are paid for each week's work on Sunday, period. June 30th of the current year falls on a Wednesday. So we have to do some calculating here. Okay. We are going to take that $4,200, whoops, and we're going to divide it by a 7-day work week. And when we do that, we get $600. So that equals $600. So they make $600 a day. Okay. $4,200 divided by a 7-day work week is $600 a day. They are paid for each week's work on Sunday. June 30th of the current year falls on a Wednesday. Okay. So we have to account for that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I am now going to take this 600 and multiply it by 3. I'm going to get 900 because I have to account for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So that $900 is what becomes my amount to use for my entry. Okay. So I'm going to take that $900 and I'm going to move it into my wages expense. Okay. I'm going to show that we incurred $900 worth of wages expense and that we now owe our employees that $900. So I'm going to credit wages payable. Okay. Debit wages expense to show that we have incurred that expense of $900. Credit to wages payable to say, hey, I owe somebody this money. Our last entry here says during June 3rd, the company performed services totaling $12,200 for which the customer has not been billed as of June 30th. Okay, so this one, we have not billed the customer. They have not paid it yet. They owe us money. So we're going to debit accounts receivable for $12,200. And we're going to credit service revenue for $12,200 to show that we have done these services, we've done the work, and we have billed the client. We've billed the customer. Okay. A little formatting. Each of these credits should be indented. Okay. So I'm just going to come up here and click on my little indent button in Excel to indent that credit to show that's part of that transaction. And that is how we accomplish those 4 adjusting entries. If you have any questions while you're working on your weekly assignment, let me know. And I hope you guys have a great week.